What's going on, savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast with me, Jeff Leach. How are you, friends? It's been a great couple of weeks. Again, apologies, there was no episode that went up last Sunday. Obviously, I did put up the brand new one with Frank Castillo on Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. We might have been a little bit high. Just a tiny, teensy-weeny little bit, hugely smoked a ridiculous amount of blunts high. Just a tiny bit. But it was still an amusing episode, so thank you very much for the love and support you gave that. Remember, if you want to support this podcast, head to patreon.com/SavageSnowflake. And you can find all the different tiers there. As little as $1 a month or as much as $1 million a month. Depends how fucking wealthy you are, really. And you get different kickbacks and different perks for different tiers. Check that out. Also, thank you very much to our sponsors. Over here, we have manscaped.com, the foremost refining gentleman trimmers of your downstairs areas. Gentlemen, your lady's going to thank you. Your balls are going to thank you. And ultimately, in the long run, you will thank yourself as you stare into the mirror at that extra inch you've discovered beneath that tuft of disgusting, scraggly hair you call pubic hair. If you want to keep your balls nice and smooth and fresh and you don't want to nick that very sensitive skin, use their skin-safe technology on the Lawnmower 2.0. I do it. I keep my balls fresh, and that's why I get so many amazing guests. They said to me, we're not coming on the podcast unless the balls are smooth, unless the hair is removed. And so I've taken that to heart, and now I'm walking around with a fresh pair of marbles in a chamois leather, silky smooth, like moisturized to perfection. And that's because of manscaped.com. Check out all their products. They got the Lawnmower 2.0, they got wipes, they got aftershave, they got amazing creams and balms. Lots of stuff to check out. If you use code SAVAGE, you will get 20% off at checkout. You'll also get a free leather travel bag and, of course, free delivery. Not a bad deal. And, of course, our friends over at Boundless Tech as well, the finest in vape technology. If you like to smoke a little bit of flower or herb or oil or resin or distillate, check out all of their products at bndlstech.com. Use code SAVAGE. You'll get 25% off all of their amazing products. I use the CF710. That's my favorite for smoking distillate. The battery is ridiculous. It lasts for weeks for me, personally. Depends how much you hit it, I guess. But the battery charge is ridiculously long. The Terra is my favorite for flower because, like a lot of you, I like tasting the different flavors of my weed when I buy it. And with the Terra, you can change the heat to any degree, all the way up to 434 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can have it from 0 all the way up to 434 to get that perfect heat, that perfect flavor. So you can taste the different cannabinoids, THC levels that you personally want. It's you. It's for you. That's why they're giving you all this money off. Code SAVAGE, 20% off. Joining me today, you may know her from the Carson Daily Show. You may also know her from entertaining the troops. That's right. She's been flying out to the front lines to keep the troops happy here in America. I know her because she's a fantastic comedian and a lovely woman, and she's my guest today. It's Courtney Scheuerman. How are you, Courtney?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. There you go. That was my... You were giggling a bit about the smooth balls. Yeah. You're not a fan of smooth balls? You're like...
No. I love smooth balls, but I thought it was just going to do a quick... my balls are very smooth.
Amazing.
I keep them. No, but I thought it was going to be like a quick cut to my face. So you're like, all of my guests have to say that, and I was like, what?
I didn't want to put that on you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
That would be like unnecessary addition to the advertisement when you haven't signed up.
Right.
I can't tell people that you prefer smooth balls, but I do think that most women in their right mind would like a man to maintain their downstairs area, right?
Or a little trim. Yeah. Maybe they're not necessarily smooth.
The balls smooth, but the rest a little trimmed down. That's the perfect. Like a little monk's, like one of those monk's haircuts. Just that bit smooth, but then one of these, just a little bit of like, hey, I'm legal.
Yeah.
That kind of hair. I'm the same when it comes to ladies. I don't really like. I'm not averse to a completely smooth downstairs area, but I like a little. Hey, what's up?
Does it creep you out when it's completely smooth?
It
like childlike.
Creep me out, but yeah, that's what it is. It infantizes a woman's vagina. So I like having a little hair at the top at least, just to be like, what's up?
To remind you that she's a woman.
I got ID. That kind of thing. Yeah. And then I asked to see that ID. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't have sex with girls that are around 21 anyway. That's not really my bag. But if I were, that's what I would do.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I think we have to maintain our personal appearance for comedy, don't we? A little bit. You're an attractive woman in the world of comedy.
Yeah.
Do you get?
I love how you add in the world of comedy.
Well, if you were in the world of accounting, I'd say, whoa, what an incredibly attractive accountant you are.
Okay, all right.
What I mean is that as much as you are judged and enjoyed for your very, very talented comedic abilities, you're also in this town, especially in LA. I guess people make aesthetic assumptions about you based on the way you look too.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
What was you were saying that you got a friend coming into town. What's the difference between stylish, fashionable, good-looking, very funny Courtney and child Courtney? Because we all had our glow-up phase, didn't we?
Well, you know what? I'm from LA. So
you were always like smoking hot toddler.
I've always been like really cool. Actually, no. I was actually just having this conversation with my mom. I was looking because this girlfriend sent me some photos like 3 days ago. She's like clearing out her house, and her parents are making her get rid of all of her childhood memories.
And she found old photos of you as children, right?
Yeah, and almost every picture I'm wearing a Dare shirt.
Oh wow!
And I was like, cool. Like, need to talk to my mom about this.
Yeah.
Like, why was I going to school every day wearing a Dare shirt? That's laziness. That's like your mom being like,
drugs, especially as a kid.
I did but more to the point of like, it was a free shirt that the school gave me, and that's what my mom was like. Cool, you're just gonna rock that once a week.
I think I can answer that for you. I don't even need to ask your mum. It's because parents don't give a fuck what their children wear. I raised someone else's little girl for 4.5 years, from the age of 13 months until she was about 5.5. And don't get me wrong, there were some days where it was really nice to like dress her in like cool clothes if she's going to a special event or whatever. Yeah. I used to like dressing her up like a mini me. So I'd get like black t-shirts, we'd roll the sleeves up and it'd have like wolves on them.
But did she like it?
Yeah, she thought it was pretty cool.
That? Okay.
Sometimes, every now and then.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if a kid just puts on a you just don't care. You're like, all right, you're cool. As long as you're dressed.
No, it's about pride. Do you know what I mean? Some days you're like, yeah, I'm gonna put a little care.
You think your
into
mum
the creature that I'm taking
needed to up the fashion stakes when it came to your school years?
Absolutely. So yeah, as even though I'm from LA, I'd say elementary, middle school, I was having some issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you an awkward kid?
No. I was always extremely outgoing. I was obnoxious. I was like president of elementary, junior high school. Yeah, I was very much an overachiever. Had to be like
the worst.
How
the fuck did you end up doing comedy? We're normally waifs and strays, and people who couldn't necessarily.
What are you talking about? That's exactly that. I mean, comedy is a perfect transition into that. I'm literally like, I just wanted everybody's attention, and I wanted everybody to like me.
Right. Sorry, I was more taking the fact that you sound like the childhood dreams child. You're like I was class president, and I was outgoing, and I was confident. Normally, you get a lot of comics who are, borderline Asperger's or actually fully legitimately on the spectrum. And,
I might be on the spectrum.
Fat, I'm sure. Too tall, weird looking, acne, all sorts of weirdness going on.
Right. I think it's about extremes. I think that's what our deal is. Okay. As comics, it's extremes. It's either you're an extremist one way. Either you're begging for people's attention or you're hiding from it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Who were you trying to crave attention from?
I'm just learning this from my therapist that it's actually my mom. So every guy that I date is like my mom.
I love it. You are incredible.
Yeah. I was trying to impress my mom and trying to get her attention. And so I date men that are like my mom.
Oh wow! Not like your dad.
Not like my dad. Like my dad's like hugs, kisses, like you're a princess.
I like the dismissive way. You're like, like hugs and kisses. Love and affection.
God, Dad.
What a prick. How dare he?
Yeah.
Whereas Mama is a little bit harder, is she?
Mm-hmm. She was like a chemist. She was a criminalist for the LAPD, just like a badass.
A what? A criminal?
A criminalist investigator.
A criminal investigator.
Yeah, she was actually the first female hired by the LAPD.
That's pretty impressive.
It is, yeah.
But then also
she
comes
so
with that
too.
when you're scraping, what's it called, gunpowder residue from beneath the nails of a dead body.
Right.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well,
that's why she doesn't give a shit what t-shirt you're wearing to school. She's like, I just saw a woman with her head cut off.
Oh, yeah.
And her entrails surrounding her in some kind of satanic symbol.
Oh, shit, I've heard all the stories. Yeah. Heads
and you're asking me what fucking shirt you should wear, Courtney.
Well, then don't have kids.
There you go.
Don't have kids. Don't fucking have kids.
Wow.
Don't have me.
See, this is the therapy right here.
This is the therapy. This is what happens.
I think we're always craving... I can empathize with that. I definitely was a performative child because I was craving the validation of parents.
Mm-hmm. What, were your parents not present or?
They were present. They were just. It was more. There were limitations put on the love I received. They loved me very much, but it was very much because they were both incredibly working class who had gotten themselves to a better standard of living. You know, they were poor people, worked their asses off, and then became middle class people. So for them, it was like you have to get 100% in everything. If you're not getting 100%, if you're not overachieving at all times.
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing? And so then it would go from implicit love to love with, based on the achievements I was able to secure myself.
Aww.
And that was sucked.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get 95%. They'd be like, why didn't you get 100%?
But that's still showing love from them because they're just wanting the best from you.
In a terrible way.
Right.
Yeah, they wanted the best for me. You're right.
Yeah.
They're a product of their upbringing. And maybe your mum was too. Did she have do you know your grandparents on your mum's side?
I did, yeah. They're both not with us anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they hard asses?
No, they weren't present. They were, my grandfather was a optometrist and so was never home. And my grandmother was an alcoholic who locked herself in her bedroom.
So now we know how mum became what she is.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Wow, fuck.
Yeah,
Do you resent her for any of the? This really has turned into therapy now. No, but I'm intrigued by this because I think, again, and correct me if I'm wrong. I can't speak for all comedians, but I think certainly within the comedy community, we use comedy to highlight, mock, and remove the demonizing effects that life has on us.
Yeah.
So rather than go, well, I could just sit around being sad about, having a slight distance between my mother and I growing up, you go, well, I can make jokes about it and then heal other people who might have had that same thing and craved a bit of love from family that they didn't necessarily get.
Yeah.
And then there's some kind of healing attitude out of that. But it sounds like, that maybe that's why you do it.
Why you do it?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It took me a while. I was just like, no, we're just like telling jokes. It's not. And then I guess when I stopped kind of like talking about personal things and was just kind of being kind of general, I was like, oh, I'm not really sure this comedy thing's working. And then once I started getting personal again, I was like, oh, this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all go through those phases, and sometimes it's based on industry expectations. You go, well, how am I going to get booked on Conan unless I make jokes about, guys, what's with Spirit Airlines? You know what I mean? And so you try that for a little bit, and then you go, that's fucking boring, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But that is the exact truth is playing to the industry and what you think they want, and then losing yourself and being like, oh, wait.
That's not how to do it.
That's not how to do it.
That's not comedy, is it? The audience can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have your parents seen you do stand up?
Yeah, a lot. So I'm from here. My parents are here and they're about 20 minutes into the valley.
That, by the way, doesn't mean that they would have come and seen you doing comedy. Some people are just like, especially a high flying. Come on, what does your dad do as well?
He owns a tree service landscaping business.
Sweet. So he's got like a real job.
Yeah.
Mum is a fucking criminalist.
Was.
Yeah. But that's quite a serious kind of science job, right?
Yeah.
And then you're a joke slinger.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily then mean that they would support you.
Well, no. I've been acting since I was a kid. And so they've been extremely hands-on and supportive of my career since I was a child. Yeah.
Cool. And what does your mum think when you make jokes about her on stage?
I don't like that.
Where's she from? Minnesota or something?
Oh, wherever you're from. Like if she sat down for an interview and was talking for like 15 minutes with
English accent.
By the end of it, yeah, absolutely.
That's every American I've met out here.
That's kind of true. It's kind of embarrassing.
They love doing my accent poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so horrible. Yeah.
It normally sounds Australian. When I get into a taxi, they're like, "Oh, where in Australia are you from? That's so cool."
Is that your American accent?
I'm from England. Are you British? You're like Russell Brand. I'm like, all right, cool. Haven't heard any of those things before. Thanks very much. Please crash this car into a fucking wall, or I'm not giving you 5 stars.
That must be really annoying. Yeah, I don't know, but my mom's from LA as well. Born and raised.
Why are you white Americans? Because you look like you're a mix of different nationalities.
I am a mix. All Americans are mixed.
Sure. I mean, some kind of European normally in there at some point. But
yeah, I mean, I've got everything. Literally a mutt. German, Jewish, Irish. My grandmother was born and raised in Ireland.
All the strong drinking heritages in there.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything more exotic?
I've got a little Italian. Got a little Greek. I mean, everything.
Okay.
When they did
no
like
Native
the test
American,
and they
though.
came back.
No, nothing this side of the pond.
No.
You were definitely settlers.
Yeah.
Came out here. I think it's interesting because it's a wonderful country for the diversity of people that live here. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, unlike England, even a city like Los Angeles that is very blue state and very very progressive in its attitude, people love in America to separate themselves out very systematically by race, culture. Whereas in England, we're a bit more, we separate each other out by money or lack of. It's class. It's more class based.
Yeah. I think I don't know what's worse. I was gonna say actually that's not true.
We're both pretty bad.
They're
be
both
honest.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to find a place where we're all like at least the same color, and then we'll find new things to
separate
about.
ourselves.
Yeah, you go. Your fucking haircut, mate. You're a fucking top knot. We hate the top knots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also, it becomes a weird thing of us just wanting to belong.
Yeah.
Maybe not separate other people, but we're wanting to belong to someone.
Is that what brought you into comedy? Was it a desire to belong amongst other funny people?
No, I wish I could say that is. It took me a long time to start connecting with other comedians, instead of feeling like they were competition, that they were allies. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, I think that might even be a product of the town you live in and you were brought up in.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is a very competitive place.
Right. That even like growing up, like girls as a child, like in junior high school, going out on auditions, like your parents are with you, but you're kind of like brown hair, green eyes, like every girl in LA, you're seeing them in the same rooms for every audition. And it was never, my mom was never like, oh, go talk to them. It was like, keep yourself.
Really? That little bitch got that fucking...
Yeah, or she'd like come in and she'd be like,
advert.
well, you didn't book that, but do you remember Sarah McCullen? She booked it. And I'd be like...
Fuck, that sounds quite, if you don't mind me saying, a little intense for a child to experience.
No, it is. I mean, this is the thing. It's what I wanted. My parents were actually adamantly against me working as a child.
Yeah.
But it's what I really wanted to do. And I was very aggressive and intent on it. But like anytime I'd book something, they wouldn't let me, they'd be like, no, you can't go for the next 3 auditions. Like, you can't miss basketball practice. Like they were very much like keeping me in school, but.
How's the NBA career working out? The WB, is it WBA? Women's Basketball Association?
I don't want to talk about it. No, I was really good at basketball. El Camino, Allstate, doesn't matter.
Can you swish? I don't know what the terminology is. Can you swish?
Dunk?
Well, I know what dunking is,
Yeah.
but can you do the thing where you boom, 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 and then you spin it through the legs and then fucking over the top? One through the legs and then kadoosh.
You're being cute as shit.
Yeah, like a
Can
fucking...
you do that?
Can you leg it and then dunk
No, I
it?
can't. I can't leg it. I can't dunk it.
You
I'm
can't
5'8".
leg dunk?
No, I can't leg dunk. Basketball career's over. But it did. It created a... I'm very competitive.
Yeah, I can feel it.
I'm very competitive.
I think that's kind of probably good for Los Angeles and for the industry you're in, but also slightly... I find it a little... it's a little intimidating.
You're like, it's a little offsetting.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm competitive with myself. There's things I want to achieve that I haven't yet achieved.
Yeah.
And I have the drive and the ambition to do those things. And I'm competitive in that respect. But as I get older, maybe this is I'm 35, so I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I certainly am now assessing more and more going, well, look, these are the things that I've already achieved. So it's okay if other people are achieving those things in this country that I haven't yet achieved out here. That's okay. Yeah. And also, when I see other people around me succeeding, I get very like, if they're good people, I'm all for them. If they're bad people, I just try and ignore it now. I just try and go, it's okay. Who cares? Good for them.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Well, and also that becomes a conversation of being competitive or comparing yourself.
There you go. Comparison versus competitive nature.
Yeah.
But when you see a girl with, long brown hair and green eyes sitting in another casting room before you're about to go in for your audition, she's leaving. As you pass in the corridor, do you give her like a look, just like, fucking you bitch? Fucking hope you...
No, and actually in terms of acting, I'm pretty confident in that realm. Worlds beyond my stand-up. But no. And actually the competitive
just
edge...
Stick a foot out, just a little...
No, the competitive edge is just a look of like...
That's the smile. That's the bitch. I hope you die of.
Oh no! It's so cute. You think you're gonna book this?
Oh my god, you're so evil. Wow, but that's okay. You're acknowledging it. You're acknowledging this is a pun.
No, I actually don't. It is. It definitely comes with age of a maturity. There's absolutely no reason to be competitive with somebody in a casting room, because the reality of that is.
They're going to book the hottest person.
But no.
It's never going to be the most talented.
Nowadays, that's not even true. It's they're going to cast the person that looks the most like a person. Not even the hot ones anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Hot people, we can't get a break. What the fuck? All these uggos and fatties just booking left, right, and centre.
No.
Me and you tirelessly hitting the gym. Desperately.
Well, actually, I beg to differ.
You're saying I'm not part of the hot people crew?
No, I'm saying I'm not. I'm actually saying I'm not. And I was told that by an agent right out of college. I sat in his office and he's like, well, look, here's the thing. You're not pretty. I mean, you're not ugly. You're interesting. And I was like, just like a little tear. Like, I was like,
slowly roll down your chin.
Thank you so much. But I did at the time. I didn't know how to take that. It was like, no, you're not leading lady, but you're not like the ugly person. You're just there. Like,
well, if that's what you think of yourself, well, that's where I am. That's my place. I'm not leading man.
And that's hysterical for me to hear you
say.
Say.
No, I'm the villain.
I see that.
I'm the villain. Yeah, there you go. See, I'm the villain. So I have to be like sexy enough that you kind of like, you'd fuck him to get back at your ex-boyfriend.
The villain's
but
always
you
sexy.
would never choose to be with him. And that's my look. I'm an
to
LA 6. Unless your dad never hugged you, in which case I'm an LA 9. If you have more tattoos than you do job prospects, I'm the guy for you.
That's a good way to put it. But you're definitely not a 6, bro.
Thanks.
Definitely not a 6.
I'll take it. I'm assuming you mean higher.
6.5.
6.5. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because at a certain point as well, in any performer who, especially with yourself, where you act as well as comedy, as well as do stand up, and you're talented in both. I think there is a point where you have to go, what am I for castings?
Yeah.
Like this pilot season, I've done fucking cowboy, pirate. I did Prince as well, not like the singer. That would have been a stretch even for me. I think Rami Malek's up for that one as well. But I think you kind of go, all right, well, I can play these things, and I know I'm never going to get the leading nice guy. I know that, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I do want that role. I wish my jaw was a little more square, or I was a little less.
But see, I
wish my forehead was actually a forehead, not a 6 head. But there's a few things.
It's hilarious for like attractive people to sit down and be like, I really wish that this was different and this was different. And I'm like, yeah, and me too. And this is what I want.
But this is the thing though. If there's people who are, let's talk about, in terms of society, they're considered less attractive, which is bullshit in the sense that, of course, everything's subjective.
Right.
I know guys, one of my best friends is like all about midgets. Like he loves dwarf women.
Really?
That's his shit. He sees a dwarf girl.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, I want to fuck that chick so badly.
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if he was like jerking off reading Snow White. I don't really know
Everyone's got their thing.
Something happened one day where he likes the aesthetic of like a full-grown woman.
I love how you say something happened. Like it had to be like some dramatic event. He's like,
I mean, it's a very specific
and now I like
fetish,
midgets.
isn't it? It's like to go like,
yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Something happened. He had a trip to Disneyland one year. Do you know what I mean? And like
he saw it, he liked it, now he wants to
blew up.
fuck it. Yeah.
a skirt, and he was like, whoa, look at those powerful little munchkin legs. Those are fucking delish. And what I'm saying is everyone's got a different taste, right?
Right.
However, magazines, fashion, TV, film, that has set out our symmetrical faces and what is hot and what's not. People think that it's harder to be, especially in comedy, it might be harder. Well, yeah, but if you don't look great, how are you going to get jobs? I think it's almost easier now. I think people who look like us, where we're at that level of social accepted, attractive nature that you go, okay, I know I'm not bad looking.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not super hot. So then you go like, well, now I'm always trying desperately to be a little hotter so that I can get some better roles, because I know I'm not getting the leading man roles, but then I'm never getting the funny best friend role, ever.
But
never.
see, also the leading man has completely changed, and so is the leading woman. I mean, think about the movies that have come out. I mean, those are, I guess, actually two extremes, but like comedies, like the leading man and leading woman.
Ryan Reynolds, Vince Vaughn. These guys have all been leading men in films. Owen Wilson. They're not what would be considered.
If they were walking down the street,
attractive.
I would not be like, holy fuck, that guy's hot.
Look at that guy's nose.
Never would have said that.
That's really mean.
Yeah. So it times are changing. It's different.
Times they're changing.
They're changing.
But they're not changing in the right way for people like us who are like almost hot. No one remembers the issues that the almost hot people are going for.
I think we're fine.
No, hot people are fine because they can get on Instagram, assuming it's not down for a day. They can get on Instagram, show a little skin, bang, 100,000 followers immediately. Ugly people, so easy. Wow, you're the funny best friend. Oh, you could be this guy. Wow, you're going to be booked because you're that. And then the almost hot people like me, you, we're just there, just desperately trying to find one way or the other. I've thought about getting really fat before. True stories. I'm not even joking. I had.
Is this what you talk about in therapy?
Yeah, I don't do therapy. This is my therapy.
Cool.
You think that this is a podcast? It's a chance for me to offload.
Right.
But honestly, all jokes aside, there is a level of going, well, like I go to the gym now 5 times a week because I know that if I have rippling abs, I'll get more work. Yeah. We'll get work.
Yeah.
But if I don't, no one's going to be like, oh, he could be the sweet, funny best friend because I just look like a douche.
A douche.
Sad, isn't it? What a sad, pathetic existence.
Do
you have if you were handed a contract that said, hey, you get to play this incredible role and it's an acting job, but you're not allowed to do stand-up for 5 years. You just got to be doing this amazing role. And it's going to pay well. It's going to be huge. Yeah. And it's an incredibly, gritty, fucking get your teeth into it kind of role.
Yeah, I'm getting wet.
Could you walk away from stand-up, do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, not like, yes, I would love to. Like, I got into stand-up because it was a way for me to perform every day.
But you're good at stand-up.
And I love stand-up.
Normally,
and I have
actors
such
and actresses
an amazing...
who do it as like a way to, I don't know,
right.
thicken the CV or thicken out that resume, for want of a better, phrase.
Yeah.
Normally they suck dick.
Yeah.
Jokes.
Well, I didn't even tell people that I that my main thing was acting until like a couple years ago.
Really? Because
I was so not afraid, but there is that, and I felt that from other actors or performers of like, yeah, I'm gonna try this whole stand-up thing.
Yeah, I did an improv class.
Yeah. My agent said I should do that.
My agent said I should start stand-up.
And I just felt that it was a disrespect to the craft of comedy. It was like, if you're a comedian, you're either in this or you're out. Yeah. And you see a difference. Alive. Yeah, and it became that. So it wasn't something like a tool that I was using. But my first thing in starting stand-up and even going on stage the first time was like, oh, I can perform. I my background is theater, so I love performing for live audiences. That's as a performer, that's the rush. That's the gift that you're giving.
Completely different kind of energy that fulfills, different part of the soul.
So once I had that, I was like, oh, I can create and write and do this every day.
Having said that, if they turn around and went, hey, new Game of Thrones series coming out, it's the prequel, and we got a nice character for you. Probably end up getting paid $1 million an episode in about 6 seasons' time. Can't do no stand-up. You'd be like, see ya.
See ya, fucker. Yeah, see ya, lab. Fucking at the Improv.
There you go.
Performing for 7 people. Yeah. I think I could give that up. Yeah.
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 See, I'm a very similar story to you in terms of how I got into stand-up. It was absolutely a way for me to... I was successful as a TV presenter in the UK. So I knew that no one would give me... Every acting audition, they went, don't I know you from... You're on that show on BBC. And I'd be like, yeah, I do a bit of presenting. They'd be like, yeah, no, I've seen you on a few things. And they wouldn't ever take me seriously for acting roles. And acting was always my passion. Theatre, the same as my background. And then... as soon as I started, I saw my friends who were doing stand-up getting loads of auditions. So I went, well, fucking, I'll do stand-up. I already do sketch and improv. I'll do stand-up. So I started stand-up. And then I fell fucking madly in love with it. Yeah. And now I had a job at the end of last year for 5 years offered to me. And they told me that everything I wrote, they would have first refusal on producing for 5 years. Any stand-up material I did, they would have to okay. Anything for special, for TV, anything I put online, they'd have to okay. Because it was for a children's network, the show. Oh. And we refused it. And I'm not quite sure yet if I'm regretting that decision. Yeah. Or if I'm happy I made that decision. The comedian in me would potentially be very miserable. But you don't know until you try, do you?
You don't know until you try. And I think...
Chappelle walked away for 10 years.
Yeah, and the whole as an actor, as an artist, I think the whole mission is just to be working. And so if you're, you can still be writing as a comedian, and you can come out of those 5 years of not being able to do anything with 3 hours of material. Do you know what I mean? Like it's.
Did I make the wrong decision?
You did.
Fuck. Oh no, my God.
I'm totally joking. Because I don't know what your content is. Like, that's a scary thing for somebody to be saying. Anything you post online, we need to okay. That's a huge umbrella. That's of power that somebody's trying to put. Well,
I understand. It was to play a sitcom father on a sitcom, and I'd be like in every single episode. That's the first contract they offered was like 7 out of 13 eps, a certain amount. Then we refused that. Then
have you done sitcom work?
More money and 13 out of 13 episodes every season. I've never done a sitcom before, no.
Yeah.
Have you done one? Is it fun or is it not fun? Or is
I mean, I think it's a very different lifestyle of being on set, and especially for a creative mind. Most of the time you're sitting on a trailer. It's a lot of downtime.
Becomes a bit methodical.
It's a job. It's a 9 to 5 job. Or it's a 9 to 10 or however late they want to hold your job.
Pick up until until 10. Well, I've done films, I've done movies.
Yeah, but there's an end in sight. You're literally like, we've got 2 weeks on location.
If it's a success, that sitcom could keep fucking running, and at least for 5 years, I'd be tied in. Yeah, and I mean that's so I made the right decision. I mean, you're not helping me at all here, Courtney.
No, I'm just glad it wasn't a decision I had to make. Like anything that's going on in our government, but I don't know. I think if you made the decision and that was like what was in your gut, then it's right.
I think I just have reached a point where you have to look at what fulfills you. Acting fills me with joy, and the prospect of working on a professional set on a lot, I would be up at one of the fancy lots in Studio City and doing that. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, oh, this is it. I'm in Hollywood doing a fucking sitcom for a major network, and I'm walking around the lot every day, and there's a little golf cart that goes, okay, let's check out your wardrobe. That's dope. But then also the idea that I couldn't get on stage and make jokes about the most critically insecure elements of my life and make them a thing of ridicule, to help and empathize with strangers, to bring them to a place where they can laugh at their own foibles. Yeah. I think giving up that's such a passion. Right. And no amount of money or fame can replace that. But then, I'm not going to lie, if the job was, hey, there's a TV show coming out called The Witcher as well, which is like a Game of Thrones-esque. It's based on a series of books that became a very successful video game franchise. Oh, okay. And I auditioned for the lead role, and Henry Cavill, Superman, got it. which I don't know how they made that decision. It must have been really difficult for them to choose between the two of us. But if I'd been offered that role and they'd gone, yo, we're looking at least 3 seasons of this and your contract's for 3 seasons, you can't even do stand up, I would have taken that.
Yeah.
I would have taken it, I'm sure. Because that'd be like a dramatic fucking, woo!
Yeah.
Gonna fucking take that, Superman. I'm Batmaning all over this shit right now.
Well, you know what? I've also gotten to a point where I'm not really saying no to much. Just in that.
So if you're a fan of Courtney's and you're thinking, how do I get her to do that foot fetish video for me? Just DM her, hit her up on Insta.
No, I mean within reason, within things that I'm where I'm like, I don't really know if I should do this because then I can't do that. It's just taking opportunities that are presented to you.
It's interesting,
that's where
isn't
I've gotten. Yeah.
That's a change that comes with age. I remember being it was so much easier for me to do creative stuff when I was younger because we just did it. You just did shit. And then when people offer me a job, they go, hey, do you want to host this thing? It pays X amount. I'd go, yeah, all right, sure, yeah. And I'd do it. Now, when people go, hey, do you want to do this thing? This is what our budget is. We can pay you X amount. I go, see, my normal rate for that kind of thing is X and blah, blah. And then I end up losing the job, even though actually I probably could have done with the cash. Yeah. Because I've gone, well, I've been working in this industry for a decade at least, and that's not my usual fee. And then I'm like, all right, it was $500 under your usual fee, and you should have fucking taken it because you could have done with that $5,000, and instead I fucking gave it to some other cunt.
Yeah.
God, money, and age and responsibility really shits on creativity, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's so many factors in deciding what we're doing, and it's all on us,
Couldn't you be like super weirdest. LA? Are your parents wealthy enough that you could have just like lived off them for the?
No.
Oh shit! See, that would have been the perfect idea, right?
Oh, you meant like maybe like my parents like bought my education or something? No.
I know that's insanity, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
But also, why is anyone surprised that people have bribed their children's way into top schools? Why is anyone surprised?
I'm not surprised. I was literally like, "What? Of course. What do you? Isn't that?" Like when like you walk into like a building and it's like Hamilton Hall and you're like, who's Hamilton?
Yeah.
And you're like thinking it's like some profound like
philosopher
founder. Yeah.
And it would turn out it's just a rich guy who fucking donated.
It's Frank's dad. Yeah,
you're like Frank's dad. Fucking Frank as well. He's a dick. He roofies people. I can't prove it, but Frank, yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about education.
He likes a few brewskis. Him and. It's like a young Kavanaugh.
Right.
But for my listeners outside of the US, by the way, we're talking about this big drama that's just happened where colleges, top colleges as well. We're
top
talking
colleges.
like not
UCLA,
Harvard,
USC.
but UCLA, USC, right? And places like this have been outed as accepting bribes or certain people fudging the examination results of kids who were too fucking moronic to get into those schools.
Saying they played on sports teams.
There you go. Saying they were pro soccer players or they were state regional.
Like staging photos of them, like kicking
Photoshopping
balls and like doing high jumps. Like just
I mean, weird. I can't be mad at that because there was an editor who's been out of work. He's freelancing. He's been out of work for 6 months. And he gets hit up by fucking, William H. Macy's wife. Like, yo, my fucking moron kid needs to get into college. Can you put her face onto a football video? Hey, bro, I've done deep fakes. I can do that for you. Boom. He had to make a sweet buck. I'm not mad about that. Yeah. But here's what upset me. One of them.
Wait, did he get in trouble?
No, but his wife has been, and I'm not sure why he hasn't. It's a bit strange. But he had to go to the hearing yesterday. I saw videos of him. But here's the deal. One of them paid $1.5 million to secure their child a place at one of these top universities, these top colleges. $1.5 million. How fucking retarded do you have to be not to go, well, hang on a sec. If I take like 100,000... just $100,000 and spend that on the best tutors to tutor my child to the point where they fucking aren't idiots. I still got enough left over for a Lambo for me and the wife to fucking saunter. I'm going to go to south of France for a fucking vineyard, adventure. And you could still have enough left over to pay like a Japanese prostitute to blow cocaine in your asshole.
Yeah.
Like, what? How are you that shit with your own money?
I know, and
more money than sense.
So also where my head goes is I graduated from a top university.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What did you study?
We don't need to talk about that.
No, we do. What did you study?
Theater. I'm a fucking theater nerd.
Oh, okay.
I graduated from UC Berkeley. Mm-hmm. It's the top public university in the country.
I know. I'm aware of it.
It means nothing.
Yeah.
It does nothing.
But also your parents are like soirees. If they have, Phil and Frank's dad over, they can be like, well, Courtney went to Berkeley, so...
That's literally all it does. It gives Sherry Sherman to be like, if she's one-eyeing it after 5 Chardonnays, she's like, well, Courtney went to Berkeley. That's it.
I like how you made your mother a pirate cowgirl.
There were other pirates in the room, so she became a pirate. That was a callback. No, the idea that people would pay money like that for something, for...
Just get a new kid. Buy a new kid.
Yeah. And well, hold on. I'm not saying that the education doesn't mean anything, and I hold value on the education that I had, but statistically speaking, when people graduate, I think it's like less than 50% even
use their degree.
Yeah.
In terms of when they go into the workforce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Same in England. It was a waste of time. My degree was a waste of 3 years of my life, really.
What did you study?
English literature and theatre studies.
Okay.
At Warwick University, which is one of the top red bricks.
Okay.
So, like, you have Harvard and Yale. Uh-huh. We have Eton and Cambridge. Sorry, we have Cambridge and Oxford. Mm-hmm. So, Yale, Harvard is Oxford and Cambridge. And then we have the red brick universities. And there was like 5 or 6 that are the top universities in the country. And Warwick was one of them. But I went there for 3 years and did everything except my course. Like, everything except my course.
Right.
Because
but when you graduated, did you use it at all?
Fuck no. I mean,
no.
It depends. Did I use life skills that I learned there? Maybe. Would I have got those life skills quicker and cheaper if I'd just gone straight into the workforce? Yeah. I should have gone to drama college, really. That's what I wanted to do, always. But, parents are like, get something to fall back on. You're going to fail. Get something to deal with the failure.
Are you falling right now?
I guess, yeah. I'm falling back on nothing anymore. There's nothing to fall back on. But it's an interesting idea, isn't it? I feel like modern age, kids, the best education, which doesn't apply to America, because especially when you look at the history that's taught in schools, but the most important education is those formative years for kids. And now no one gives a fuck about that, because you got 40 to 60 kids in a classroom where you can barely manage them, let alone teach them.
Yeah.
And these teachers are vastly underpaid. They got huge classes. There's no real education going on there. And that's the sad thing. And then they go, but you should aspire to go to college where you can spend 3 years basically going to fucking keg parties and trying to get your fingers wet.
Yeah.
Or your vagina diddled.
China diddled.
Yeah.
That my father says that diddled.
Diddled?
Yeah, that kind of bothers me.
Really?
Get a little diddled. Yeah, you know what? That's actually weird. I went to a screening. A friend produced a show for BET called Finding Justice, and they talk about. Well, I mean, it's a whole nother conversation, but they deal with the issues that are wrong in our school systems right now, and it's
sounds like a hoot.
Yeah. No, it's an amazing. It's
comedy
a 6-part.
Comedy show?
It's a 6-part documentary. Actually, The Rock is one of the producers on it.
Because I have a model of The Rock over there, Dwayne Johnson, looking very
Dwayne.
Handsome.
Yeah, he's one of the producers on it. It's amazing. You should check that out.
Well, I mean, there's just so much history that's not even taught about this country, isn't it? I mean, I'm dating a woman of color, and the amount she told me about the 2 days she probably learned about about Black history. And
was it in Black History Month?
Yeah, and it was like
Cool.
2 days or so. It was like Malcolm X. She learned a little bit about Malcolm X, and maybe that was about it, and a little bit about Martin Luther King. And then she said, but in terms of slavery was pretty much like a sort of half an hour of one class, and then we brought a lot of people from Africa anyway. They got better lives now, so let's move on. It was very much like that. She was like, really? I think there's a bit more to that.
Yeah.
But outside of the race issue, I just think in general, my mum is a teacher, or was a teacher. My sister is a teacher. I just think they're vastly underrated. And but then these college educations, it really is just a weird badge to carry around that doesn't ultimately mean a lot, unless you're trying to get a job at so and so's parents' firm.
Yeah,
and
but
they
even
go,
then, if you know so and so's parents,
yeah,
you're getting the job over someone else. So
yeah, exactly.
there is
Nepotism.
Nepotism, yeah.
Well, this town is rife with it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something. I mean, how can you control that? That's human nature.
Do you sometimes
to some
wish your
extent.
parents were famous? So then you would have every doorway opened up to you and every opportunity afforded to you because of your
course.
name.
Wait, fuck you if you're gonna say you don't. Yeah. Who's gonna sit back and be like, no, want to earn it on my own?
I still, though, have to
No.
look at how fucked up my life, how fucked up I am because of the parents I did have. And I was like, if they were famous, I think I'd be dead. Like if I had coke money at a younger age, I had to work for my cocaine money like for years on TV, and then I fucking
So it made you a grounded person.
yeah,
Right.
like I was like, I knew the worth of the shit that I was throwing up my nose.
Yeah.
Whereas, and now I'm all clean living, it's a bit fucking boring. But if I'd had parents, I had coke money at like 13, 14, I'd be dead.
Yeah. No, but I mean, some doors open for you because of your name. I'm all about that, and I don't shame people who have that.
If you have
lucky
children
them.
one day, I don't know if you want to have kids or not.
I do, yeah.
You do. So if you have children, would you support them if they decided they wanted to go into the arts, if they wanted to become a performer? Would you like that for your kids, or would you be like, oh, baby, think about it?
100. No, 100%.
You would like them to be in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have to think about it.
Well, this is my thought is two of my best friends growing up. One is a nurse, the one that's here in town, and the other one, went to college and now has 3 kids, and her husband's a fireman.
So one is literally dedicating their life to saving other people's lives, and the other one seems to have all their shit sorted. Okay.
And we have a group thread. We talk pretty much every day. Every day I do exactly what I want to do. Like I'm fulfilling every day. I'm literally like, I'm doing, even if it's going to the gym, like whatever it is, I'm fulfilling what Courtney wants to do. And both of them have not that they're not happy, but I mean, it's an open discussion. She's like, I'm a nurse just because, it kind of pays the bills and it's a good thing.
Today I had to clean shit from a guy who went into epileptic fits in the middle of the ER, and I had to like clean his shit off the floor.
Yeah.
And then he puked violently all over the front of my scrubs.
Yeah.
And I had to change them 4 times that day. But she's still doing what she wants to do.
No, she's not.
I don't know.
No.
Sandra's into scat. It's time you knew.
No, but my point is like, if you look at your life and you're like, this is...
Isn't she doing what she wants to do, though?
No.
She's saving lives, man.
No, she's really passionate about flowers. I'm not making fun of her. She loves putting like bouquets together, and she really wanted to be a florist.
She wants to be a florist. She wants to do flower arranging.
Yeah, and she's like, that's not a real job. That's not opening a flower shop and doing that. That's not something practical.
Okay, I appreciate what you're saying now. So you're saying rather, it's not like she doesn't enjoy the process of what she's doing, but she's not. It's not what her passion is.
Yeah, or even something like day to day that she like really wants to be doing. And so if I had a kid and I'm like, but also she and I, we live about the same means, and my career hasn't even taken off. Do you know what I mean? Like we're living about. I eat what I want. I'm
that
completely
was the most, by the way,
care of.
the most Italian New York Jewish mum I've ever seen. Representing that. My career hasn't even taken out yet, but yeah.
So I would absolutely say that to my kid. Follow what you want to do, because like we can't, I hate this saying, but you can't take anything with you. So
well, if we become closer friends, I would tell your kid, don't listen to your mother. I would whisper, I wait until you've given them
clean
like,
the shit.
Get out there. Yeah. Chase your dreams. Follow your passions. I'll support you through whatever you need.
Oh my
God.
God.
And then, okay, Uncle Jeff's going to play with you for a little while now. And then you leave to go and, pour us a nice glass of whatever, kombucha, whatever the fuck you drink in your home, because you are too athletic to drink alcohol. And then I would whisper in your kids' ear. I'd just be like, hey, what do you want to call your kids? You got name. Everyone's got names picked out. What would you call your kids?
Ophelia.
Wow. Fucking Jesus Christ. Give her a chance at least to be a doctor. I'm going to call her Ophelia. From Hamlet.
Stop.
It's
It's not
just
from
a character
Hamlet.
I really-
It's not from Hamlet. It's from my heart.
It's a character I really identify with, and the way that she feels like she's literally physically.
All right, we'll go with another name.
In her no. I love it. It's a beautiful name. Ophelia is a beautiful name. It's just hilarious that is what you're going to call your kid.
No. Continue,
So I'd be
please.
like, I'd lean down, and she'd be there, kind of playing with the Legos or whatever, and I'd be like, hey, listen, Ophelia. I'd have to stifle the laugh because
Fuck you.
I mean, yeah. I go, look, Mum says you should follow what you're passionate about, and that's a great idea if it's something that's, going to make sure you grow up well balanced. But you're already starting to show some signs of, kind of behavioural issues.
Suicidal tendencies.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, look, you're on medication for ADD, you're on the Robitussin as well. I feel like, look at how good you are with the Legos. Wouldn't you prefer to be an engineer or something, maybe an architect? You could be a city planner. There's money to be made.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, go into commercial real estate.
Yeah. Hate what you're doing every day and then go home and drink a bottle of wine.
And I say, what do you really love? Exactly. What do you really love to do? And she'll
And
be like,
don't sleep with your husband.
I really love to perform. She's British because she's called Ophelia. I really love to perform, Uncle Jeff. And then in that moment when I go, oh, you love theatre? And she go, yes, I love theatre. And as she says the word theatre, I would smack her like full on, not like fist, but like open palm across the face. Just, and as her little face hits on, she's like, and looks at me like, why, Uncle Jeff? Why? And I say, every time you say the word theatre, you remember this feeling. What are you going to be when you grow up? And she'd be like, an engineer. And I'd be like, good girl. And then I'd give her a little kiss on her little cheek, and it'd be already hot. And I'd be like, all right, that was probably too hard. But you know what? Job done. You're welcome.
This interview's over.
What I'm saying is, can you have some kids so I can beat them? That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
Wait, so you're actually saying if you had kids that you wouldn't want them to follow?
I'd encourage them to be whatever they want to be and do whatever they want to do. I'm looking.
Nobody doing what we're doing is going to say that.
I want a super gay son. That's what I want. I want a son who is like really awesome, flamboyant, gay.
Cool.
I got a lot of gay friends. I had a lot of gay friends growing up,
Yeah.
and I just love a little sassy, just like,
Well,
Papa, look at me, I dress myself. And I'd be like, wow. He'd have to sound like an old New York drag queen. Just, oh my God. Look at my shoes, Daddy.
You're doing that a little too well.
Yeah.
Would you choose the name Papa?
Oh, I wouldn't call him Papa. My name would be...
No, I know, but like
No, I'd be
normally
like-
parents would be like, call me.
I'd be like,
call me Dad,
Sebastian,
or
call me Dad. And he'd be like, no, Papa. I'll call you Daddy, am I right? Come on, stop it. And then he high kicks and walks out. Just fucking doing his thing.
I gotta go.
I'm just saying, I got hopes for my kids too. Don't
right.
shit on my dreams.
I'm not.
That's good. That's good that you would support your kids. It's good that you were supported. But obviously, I don't know, maybe I always try and find the most broken part of comics because I think there is something inherently broken about someone who wants to be validated by performing for others. There's something broken about that.
Very broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's just normalized for us. Do you know what I mean? We're everybody that we're surrounded by is of the same. So when somebody's like, "You're crazy," like when another comic says that you're crazy, it's literally like, "What?"
Yeah, you're like,
What?
pot kettle black, I think. Somewhat.
Yeah. Well, although, what's your point? Of course, Of course, I am.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done in your entire life? Something where and it could be in a relationship, it could be in a work situation. Be honest. I know you're not going to tell me the craziest thing. So whatever you are going to tell me is probably the second craziest thing. But something you've done where you've gone, fucking hell, I was a little unhinged in that behavior.
I get unhinged quite often.
Okay.
That's not.
How does it come out for you?
Well, I have a temper, so yeah, it comes out maybe in anger.
You ever physically assaulted someone?
I've gotten physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Without putting
That's
yourself
not-
in a legal minefield.
No. I've and of course like alcohol and drugs being involved maybe. But
You never pulled a knife on someone though, have you?
no, not that crazy.
You ever thrown a vase at someone's head?
I've thrown shit, yeah.
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 Yeah, I can see that. Did you
Just
hit
in
'em?
like the heat of the moment or whatever.
Maybe
yeah.
if you loved me the way I deserve to be loved, I wouldn't have to do this to you, Steven.
I got into probably the craziest thing I got into a relationship fight, in a car, and things got physical, and we were on the freeway, and we were fighting over a phone. I don't remember whose phone it was, but he pulled over, and I had the phone. It was my phone. I got out, and he started chasing me down the side of the highway and tackled me, and then we were wrestling. But we were wrestling for the phone, so it wasn't like we were trying to hit each other. And while literally or maybe I was on top of him. Yeah, I think I was on top of him. Highway patrol pulled up. And
Woo!
Yeah, I had been drinking, and he started hugging me, and then I started acting like I was laughing. If somebody was filming this, it would have been hysterical.
Because you didn't want to get in trouble with the police. You were let's just pretend like we're having a great time.
Yeah. Let's pretend like we're joking. So the officer is immediately hands up, both of you. Both of you, put your hands up. And so I had my phone in my hand. I'm like, I have my phone in my hand. He made us separate. And then he called for backup. The whole thing became ridiculous.
Did you get arrested or anything?
No. And
my God, if you were black, you would have been so sharp.
100%.
100%.
No, I'm not kidding. If we were any other race, it would have been it would have gone down a completely different way. But and I had bruises. So I'm anemic. I had bruises instantly all over my body. They were on my arms. So the cop kept going, are you all right?
Are you being beaten by your boyfriend? Yeah.
And he's like, you don't. And I kept looking over at him. He's like, you don't have to look at him. Look at me. Do you need help? And I was like, this is where I'm checking my crazy. This isn't.
Well, thank God, normal. If you'd gone really crazy, then you would have gone, he hits me. That would have been.
Oh, no. Because we had to go have makeup sex. Which is, yeah. So this crazy cycle of.
And they just let you two
drama.
go. You both went, no, we're okay. And they went, okay. Yeah. Not even a ticket for illegally pulling over on the side. No,
well, he had kind of used a card of he had been in some stuff, and there was hey, I recognize you from, and I was like, it's fucking, yeah, of course. Oh, somehow this is going to turn against me, I'm the bad guy.
He was handing out fucking autographs to the cops.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, I once, took a fart on someone's pillow, put a little bit of olive oil in their skin cream. I've done things like that, but I mean that's next level. I wasn't expecting that. Terrifying. Wow, can't believe believe you revealed your violent tendencies.
That is not even that bad.
I planned out how to kill a man once. That's crazy.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, my ex that I was with, her ex, I worked out how to kill him. Because he was making my ex incredibly sick. He was a vindictive, evil, twisted motherfucker.
Wow.
And he was the father of our kid. So he was using the power he still had to make her sick. She had a autoimmune disease. So he was making her ill by making her slowly go more and more crazy. And I planned out to kill him, but I didn't do it. So that's all right. Well, real crazy would be starting to put it into practice.
Yeah.
I just went.
It would also be crazy to be admitting that.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, it's all right because I never did it, and I would never do it.
Cool.
But I did. I was so sick of seeing the woman that I loved be made to feel so awful, and watching her die.
Yeah.
It was physically she was deteriorating because of the stress.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I don't want you to fuck. I was just gonna go around his house and just cave his head in.
Yeah.
Or at least bang on his door, and when he answered it, punch him in the fucking throat and hold a knife to him and say if you keep doing this to her, you're gonna die at some point. So just don't. And then she didn't want me to do that. So instead I worked out how I could kill him and make it look like an accident. I didn't do it.
Good.
Realized that was a childish, immature thing, and it was born out of, the love that I felt for her, and I just wanted her to not be sick. That's pretty crazy, right?
That is crazy.
But that was a good 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't planned out how to kill anyone since then.
That's good.
Yeah. I've watched too many documentaries about fucking people who do crimes of passion like that and then get outed because they, I don't know, took a fart against the wall and then someone found a little residue of their...
Right.
It's impossible to get away with a murder.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're talking about it on a podcast.
Yeah, you should take them on holiday first of all, and then they just never come home.
Right.
Do it in a foreign country because they don't care. Bali, never going to care.
Right.
What a great way to end the podcast.
Amazing.
That was it. I'm sorry we went over 10 minutes from when you got to leave. I apologise, but
No,
we'll be
worries.
okay. That's a perfect hour.
Perfect hour.
Courtney, I think the only thing that's really crazy is how crazy good at stand-up you are.
Aww.
Hey, brought it full circle. And I would encourage everyone who watches this podcast. You know, we've got like 28,500 unique listeners now, and they love checking out the guests who come on because the reason you're here is because you're a wonderful comedian. So where can people check out your live dates?
My live dates, my website, CourtneyScheuerman.com.
You're gonna have to spell that. Not everyone will spell that.
It's Courtney the regular way with the C,
but with an N-E-Y.
Well, yeah, that's the regular way. COU.
There's people who spell it with a K.
Yeah, people
Courtney
who...
Kardashian has now redefined the way Courtney is spelled.
No, that's not a thing. She went with a K so she could have all Ks.
I'm just saying.
Courtney, Courtney.
There we go.
The last name is
Scheuerman,
SCHEUERMAN.
There you go.
Yeah.
.com. And then also on Instagram if they want to find you.
Courtney Scheuerman.
At Courtney Scheuerman. And then on Twitter as well, same.
No Twitter.
No Twitter. Fuck
No
Twitter.
Twitter. Not going to say that. But yeah, I don't have a Twitter account.
Why are you not going to say that? You're upset. Wait, I just revealed that I plan out to kill a man. You're worried about upsetting people at Twitter.
Yeah.
A platform you're not even on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah. Right. I just don't have a Twitter currently.
Okay, yeah. Instagram, or the website,
yes.
and make sure you support this wonderful human being and incredibly talented comedian in her future endeavours. I look forward to seeing you on your own show where you've given up comedy because you're being paid millions of dollars a season.
Or have to step away.
Just giving it up. Just fuck it. You'll do a special as you land that huge acting job. You'll do a comedy special called See ya.
See ya.
And it would just be like an hour of you being hilarious, all your best material, and then that's it, done. See you later.
I could live with that.
10 years later, you come back to it like Dave Chappelle.
Love it.
Smoking on stage. All right, love it. Thank you very much, Courtney. Thanks for being a guest, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.